Good evening, supervisors, ladies and gentlemen, and our viewers at home. Welcome to our Tuesday, October 7th business meeting of the Board of Supervisors of Lower Paxton Township. Tonight, we are blessed to have, we'll be welcoming our new firefighters. In addition to that, there will be discussions on our our technology security, and discussion about Chief Administrative Officer for our pension plans, and also a grant agreement with Bishop McDevitt for a project they're doing, for which they're requesting us to be co-applicant. Supervisors are all seated and ready for business.
Good evening, everybody. I will call to order at 7:03 p.m. the Lower Paxton Township Board of Supervisors business meeting for October 7th. If you could all please stand for the pledge led by Supervisor Najim. Before we move on to the approval of the minutes, I'll just make a note that we did hold an executive session last Friday, October 3rd, from 3 to 6 p.m. to interview potential manager candidates, as well as today at 6:15 to discuss personnel issues. All right. Moving on to item number 3, which is the approval of the minutes for the July 1st, 2025 business meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any public discussion, comment, questions, corrections to the meeting minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we are moving on to public comment. Please limit your comments to township matters, and please limit your time to 5 minutes. I will raise my hand at 5 minutes. Who would like to begin? Minsker, please.
Good evening, members of the board, township staff, ladies and gentlemen. I am Bill Minsker, 5956 Linglestown Road on the square in Linglestown. It is my excitement and pleasure tonight to introduce to you projects 8 and 9 of the 10 projects that I have been introducing to you over the last few months. These projects, I remind you, are designed to give you a much better image than what has been happening over the past few months, and also to bring about some activities within our township that will be of benefit to our residents. When I next meet with you, which will be on October 21st, at your meeting with project number 10, I'll remind you that we're going to pull all these other 9 together into the 10th project that I think you will see how it will all fit at that time. The 2 projects that I have to introduce you to this evening are related, which is why they are together, and I am calling them CARE program. And you'll see on your packet of paper, which I have laid in front of you for your blue notebook of collected material. The CARE program is Community Activities, Resources, and Events. And these 2 projects are projects that I have worked on, you will see on page 1, for quite a long time. Project number 8 I have introduced in a number of different ways at the 2 sources that you see listed, and project number 9 I have introduced in the 3 ways that you see listed there on page number 1. The first of the 2 projects, project number 8, is a project similar to what used to be nationwide called Welcome Wagon. At the size of our township with its continual growth, we need this project. And I have introduced this activity. If you look on page number 2, you will see the details on this project, which I have most recently introduced to my committee, the Township's Community Engagement Committee, to have them work on this. The idea of this project is to give new residents and new businesses an overview of the opportunities they have in moving into our township. The idea of both Project 8 and Project 9 are to be introduced to the public through our township newsletter and on the township website, just to notify people that these projects, if we bring them into existence, would be projects for their benefit to put to use. On page number 2, the Welcome Wagon Style program, you see listed there on an outline form what this project is all about. And I'll be giving you on the 21st of October a means in which we're going to bring, I suggest to you that we're going to bring about the organization to do this activity. Then project number 9 is a project I have worked on for years. And this is a project which you'll see some evidence of the need for it when we still had the Paxton Herald to announce community events. And I call this project, as you see on page number 1, it's an outline of community activities and things that are available for the public to make use of. The reason for this is that now, other than with Bill Bostic's Linglestown Gazette, we have no means of really advertising other than online what is going on in our magnificent township. The pages, the 3 pages that I've given you copies of, front pages from the Paxton Herald in the past, show you what happens when there is no method for the public to really see what's planned for the future. And you will see there a number of events all occurring on the same day, all occurring at the same activity. For example, a chicken barbecue being operated on the same day, on the same hours, by 3 different organizations that were within about 2 miles from each other. My goal is to, with the page number 7 that you see, on page number 7 is an outline of and page number 6 is an outline of the organizations that could make use of this and the types of activities that could be announced. When we meet again on the 21st, I will introduce to you not only for projects 8 and 9, but also the first 7, a way in which we're going to hopefully be able to bring these about. Have you any questions?
Are there any questions of the board?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Minsker. Other public comment? Mr. Johnson.
Good morning. I'm try to be extremely fast because I certainly don't want to hold up our fellow firefighters. And I don't know if I can get my wife's 5 minutes. If not, I'll turn it over to her and let her finish. But I will try to be as quick as possible. Again, good morning, or I should say good evening, supervisors and township manager. I'm here again concerning the nuisance study and ongoing issues at the Lower Paxton Township compost facility. I was unable to attend the September 16th meeting, during which Mr. Matthew Jaroslawski presented the nuisance study update. He began by affirming that the Lower Paxton Township remains committed in maintaining the compost facility and closed landfill in a way that protects public health, ensures environmental safety, and addresses community concerns. He also stated that over the past 6 months, the township has reportedly made substantial improvements to the operations and oversight, aiming to meet DEP permit requirements and respond to resident complaints and a recent permit appeal. While I won't be permitted the time to address every topic in the report, I would like to highlight just a few key concerns. Hours of operation, they were not mentioned, yet they continue to be an issue. Dust and air quality. Mr. Jaroslawski mentioned the retrofitting of a tanker truck for on-site dust suppression. However, the very next day, I observed large clouds of dust rising from the grinder, the screener, and the dust from increased traffic throughout the site. The dust is still very noticeable. It settles on our vehicles, our lawn furniture, and is even detectable by smell. I have dated photos and videos documenting this. It appears that dust control efforts are limited to the road approximately 90 feet from my property. Beyond that, dust remains completely uncontrolled. A neighbor recently expressed concern about the airborne dirt, especially since his wife suffers from an autoimmune disorder. He did share with me that he would be attending a future meeting about this. Noise pollution. The report noted the installation of a berm and the relocation of the grinder behind it, which initially sounded promising. However, it failed to mention that another machine, I believe they referred to it as a screener, was moved into the grinder's previous location and is not shielded. The resulting noise, constant banging from the bucket, screener operation, and the airborne dust from truck movement is disruptive. Trash trucks, tractor trailers, dump trucks, front-end loaders, and street cleaning machines regularly produce dirt and noise levels exceeding 70 decibels. There was no mention of mitigation efforts, for noise generated by the windrow turner, tailgate pounding, or the continuous clanging from the front-end loader. Additionally, the report lacks any reference to any acoustical study of how sound propagates through nearby homes, which is a critical oversight. Concerns regarding the SCS engineering report. On the same day, Mr. Jaroslawski presented the updated report. A second report prepared by SCS, I have it here in my hands, dated May 21st, 2025, was placed on the sign-in table. Please, you can't see it from here, but if you could note the font size, it's like a 4-point. It's impossible to read with the naked eye. And how, typically you would see maybe a 10 or a 12-point Word document. I would like to read just one excerpt from page 3. Just bear with me for a minute. I had just turned the page, and it says, dust generation associated with the facility, operations, and its impact on neighboring residents is a concern. And I just turned to page 1. Now, the report was released a full week before the meeting between the township, DEP, and the Hodges Heights residents. This raises several questions. Why wasn't this report presented or read into the record during the meeting? Why was it placed on the table in a font size that is virtually unreadable? Why didn't the report include an assessment of noise impacts on residents living adjacent to the site? It's a very thorough report, but there's nothing based on acoustics. Why was, and I have that next, why was no qualified acoustics firm engaged to study how sound travels through nearby homes or communicate directly with the parties involved? Can I have her time, or do I?
Go ahead,
Thank you.
Mr. Johnson.
And I'm almost done. Additional questions. Why does the township continue to accept yard waste from other municipalities if it is not profitable? Is this related to a grant from DEP? If so, how much funding was received and how is it being utilized? How many of you have read the full report from the SCS? Despite claims of reduced activity, I continue to experience significant disturbances nearly every day within my house. The noise propagates through the walls. Below is a summary of events following the report presented by Mr. Jaroslawski. This is Wednesday, September 17th, 8:05, front-end loader bucket banging in repeated manner. Continued about every 5 minutes. 9 o'clock, loud truck engine noise reverberating through my house. 12:33, large tractor trailer truck, dump-sized truck engine noise. reverberating through my house. Trucks still idling and noise reverberating through my house. Trash truck enters facility, loud noise. This is 12:51. Loud engine noise. Trilling and banging during emptying. No berm in sight. This is all in plain sight of my view. Okay, the only thing that has the berm is the grinder. And one of my neighbors, today we were standing outside, still extremely loud, even behind the so-called berm. That I'd like to know who did the study when they built this berm to reduce the noise. But anyway, Thursday, September 18th, and this goes on and on. I go day after day, 9 o'clock in the morning, intermittent backup alarms, banging of the bucket, 9:34, large tractor trailer truck, engine, diesel smells, loud noise at 9:35, 9:18. It just continues. It continues, and it's all day, every day. It doesn't stop. It's only getting worse. As these trucks in the back, they traverse the field. The dust clouds are so huge, they literally sometimes blot out the truck, and then that dirt just comes right off site. Today it came off, when I was talking with a neighbor, it came off. There was a good little wind blowing, and it just got in my eyes. You could smell it. The piercing backup alarms that just come right through the house. Large tractor trailer entered the site to offload finished product. Who is this sold to? If we're not giving it away for free. And I'm just trying to pass through this because I know I'm running out of time. But there were some things I really like, people still coming in outside the hours. I have lots of pictures, they're dated. I have videos that are dated with the dirt. So this was supposedly all fixed, and things are beautiful. The sound's gone. But I'm just wondering what type of follow-up, who did the study, who's doing the follow-up study? So I'm just going to jump to the end here and just say, despite the reported improvements, the reality is that the dirt and noise levels have increased largely due to the expanded use of the site. The changes made so far are minuscule compared to the impact residents continue to endure. I respectfully request that the township take these concerns seriously and provide clear, transparent responses to the questions raised above. I also urge the board to consider commissioning a professional acoustical study to assess the true impact of noise on the nearby homes. Thank you.
Mr. Johnson, has there been any improvement since the last meeting when Director Jaroslawski provided us with the summary of the HRG study and the different mitigation measures?
No, it's actually gotten worse. As a matter of fact, he mentioned in the study that that on Fridays they don't operate as much. So I have Fridays going back since his meeting. They operate all day Friday. The trucks go back and forth, dumping, and the dust clouds just create the backup alarms. So to be honest with you, when they opened this site years and years and years ago, and all they did was take township waste, at least they were done in 2 days. Everything was done. It was done for a week. But now that they're taking waste from everywhere, from every municipality, from anyone who wants to get a permit, large trucks are coming in and out every day. No, I think because the expansion, it just keeps expanding. I don't know how they're keeping up.
Mr. Johnson, did you receive a copy of the HRG study?
Somebody handed me a copy, but no, the township didn't provide it.
Okay.
Get anything in the mail or by email, or this other study. It was left here on the desk.
Is there anything in that study that you think would help mitigate some of the noise and dust control issues? Or we don't need to take up people's time, but we could go through that with you for your comment.
I think what they need, like this SRS company, or SCS, I think the engineers, I think they did a pretty good job of laying out the concerns. I think we need to commission someone that really understands noise, dirt, to go out there once again and find out what should be done professionally. I'm not a professional when it comes to the dirt and so forth. I think we should leave that to the professionals, but I think a professional study should be done. I think if they're going to do a study, they need to come to my house because, again, I sit in in an area where all that noise is channeled right through my house. And please come over and have them start up the windrows and come inside my house and just listen, you know, for yourself. Come on the back porch and stand. And even today with just the grinder behind the berm, one of my neighbors, you know, had her come up and say, you know, you can't use the property. You know, I usually after about 11 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock, I'll just leave and go somewhere else to work because I work from home most of the time because I can't sit there listening. It's impossible.
Thank you.
And then, the banging and, so.
We appreciate your comments, and to be honest, we have received the professional studies. The SCS study was not given to us when it was conducted. I think due to the transition in leadership here, we were not privy to that information until Mr. Jaroslavsky presented it at that one meeting. But I'd like to work with you on a collaborative approach that we can determine together what might work, because we are receiving these studies. We are trying to implement some of these control measures, and it's not what you have in mind. So, Mr. Verneau, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, there is actually another study that was scheduled, budgeted. So the way it worked is the SCS study was released in May, I believe, of this year. The manager at the time told the Public Works Director to hang on to it until the second study was done. In the interim, we had this study done by the HRG, which they called the nuisance study. These are some of the things you're referring to as the berm and all that, the watering to keep the dust down. Those were included in the HRG study. They've not all been implemented yet. They're working on it. I know it's not quick enough to do overnight, and I regret that, but we are working on it. The problem with the second engineering study was that they came in extremely high over budget. So we're working with them. What we want to do is we want to implement some of the suggestions from the HRG study and then commission the new study, because it will affect the results, I guess, of the second study, or we're hoping that it does. But I would imagine that this second study is going to be commissioned at any time. Sorry, Mr. Jaroslavsky is not here to speak to that, but we are working on getting that second study underway.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
Sure.
and again, I would just hope that they would come over, maybe speak with me, and so that, because again, the trains way down on Dairy Street, they're just as, we can hear them as clear as we can hear the traffic going up and down 322. And it's the way the noise is channeled. So if you could just imagine something that's literally 90 feet from your property, and they're banging tailgates and going up the back of the house today, going up and the trucks hit certain potholes or whatever, and the banging and the backup alarms. There's nothing shielding them. The only thing you put behind the berm was the grinder, and that's partially behind the berm.
Well, we'll suggest to them that they talk to you and pick times of day and days of the week when it's the worst, and make sure they're there at those times. We'll suggest that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Verneau, one of the things that I've requested regarding this May 21st dated study is that we be provided with a copy that we can actually read without a magnifying glass.
Yes.
I would like the font to be much bigger. I thought it was about an 8. Mr. Johnson says it's a 4. In any case, it's far too small for a scientific study of this nature for us to be trying to read. Oh, I have a copy of it. Thank you. Yes, I have a copy of it, and it's ridiculously small. We need a standard 12 or 14 font size so that we can really go through the report.
So I did provide that to you via email as an attachment. The original one with the small font, that was a PowerPoint printout. That's why it was so small, and it was probably not well. But the original report was sent to you as an email attachment, and I'd be happy to send that to anybody that wants it, if you want the original one in the regular size font.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment? Mr. Kessler.
I'll keep it brief. Eric Kessler, running Pump Farm. A few weeks ago, I had asked you to look into, and Tom, you were nice enough to get back to me, regarding in Linglestown, the two alleys, Blackberry and Raspberry. Simple question, are they public alleys or private alleys? Now, I did receive a good response from the manager, and he recommended, if that's the right word, that the board needs to recommend to the solicitor to come up with a legal opinion. May I ask the board to make that motion tonight, please?
Well, it's not on our agenda tonight, but can we entertain it at a subsequent meeting?
It's going to be unnecessary.
I don't think it's necessary.
Well, I
would just
understand,
like you
but
to do it.
we've got a whole big box full of files, and we've had people going through that box, and it's all related to Blackberry Alley and Raspberry Alley. We know, for example, we found documentation where, and I'm probably speaking out of school here because I'm waiting for a final report from the community development, but the indication is that the one, and I always get these confused, the one on the south side of the square.
That's Raspberry.
That's Raspberry. That's public. The one on the other side that runs over to your
Blackberry.
property
Yeah.
is not. It's private.
Yeah, because when I chaired the Linglestown renovation, we're going back 16 or so years. That was a question we had then. We could never get a sound legal answer. There's about 90% of the village that is contiguous to the alleys in one way or the other. That's a lot of people. Who does the maintenance? Who plows? I do some of the maintenance. Some of it's paved, some of it's stone, some of it's paper street. All we're asking, and I'm speaking for many, many, many other people in the village, we'd like an answer. Are our properties fronting on public streets or private?
Sure.
Some people actually have closed it down and say, I own it, no one can go through. Well, that's a real problem from a public safety standpoint.
Yes.
That's my opinion.
Well, we're very close to having a final report on that.
Wonderful.
For you. Well, I would expect it within the next 2 weeks anyway.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kessler. Other public comment, please.
Hello, good evening.
Hi.
Reverend Marisa White, 6702 Delano Boulevard. How are you all this evening?
Well, thank you.
Great. Dear members of the Lower Paxton Township Board of Supervisors, for more than 50 years, the residents of Hodges Heights have lived under the weight of neglect from this township. We have paid our taxes faithfully. We have abided by the same ordinances and expectations as every other resident. Yet our roads remain unpaved. Our calls for bulk trash collection are ignored. Our park and our poor infrastructure of the municipal dump is ignored. And our community is treated as if we are invisible. You collect our money, but you do not return our dignity. You accept our taxes, but you do not extend our humanity. This is not merely a matter of infrastructure, it's a matter of integrity. The disregard towards Hodges Heights is not accidental. It is the predictable results of leadership that has chosen comfort over courage and convenience over conscience. It is a reflection of what happens when officials wear masks, not the kind for health, but the kind that hide the faces of racism, bias, and selective service. For generations, this nation has hidden what mass power looks like, from the white hoods of the Klan to the masks worn during ICE raids, to the fugitive masks worn in boardrooms where decisions are made that harm the powerless while protecting the privileged. So I say to you plainly, show up in your mask. Let the township and community see you for who you are. If you cannot serve all people with the same fairness and fervor, then be honest enough to stand before us as you truly are, not of public servants, but as protector of an old and unequal order. To compound this hypocrisy, Supervisor Jill, yes, I emailed you, had someone from her campaign deface an opponent's sign in my yard. I find this to be disheartening, that this candidate teaches ethics at HAC, Ethics without empathy is empty. Teaching without integrity is deception. The community deserves leaders and educators who model the values they possess. This is not about serving white or black, rich or poor. It is about serving right and serving truth. The time for performative gestures is over. The people are watching, and more importantly, history is recording who showed up masked and who stood barefoot in the light of justice. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend. Would you like to respond now, or do our board
Can
member?
I simply ask you what email address? I apologize and do not have an email from you as of before this meeting. I can give you my email again. I'm happy to address. I'm not sure what you're referencing because I have not engaged in any. You have a video? Yes. And you sent it to me? I did not send it. I asked for your reply, and then I wouldn't have brought it up in this meeting. And I apologize. I do not have said email. So if you would like to wait and speak after, I am happy to do so, or I can give you my email again, because that is not an acceptable action on my behalf by anyone involved in my campaign. I would be shocked and disheartened if someone would do that, and I will address it appropriately and quickly, but I need to receive your email. I apologize. I do not have it. I just checked again.
Is there other public comment? Please.
Good evening. Forgive me, this is my first time in any setting like this, so I wasn't sure what to expect. I have tried to do this in other avenues.
Could you please state your name and your address?
Yes.
Thank you.
I am Whitney Bradley. I'm here to talk about the Claremont Neighborhood Sewer Project. My address is 5583 Banbridge Drive, Harrisburg, PA 17112. I am here today to express my frustration, disappointment, and actual exhaustion over the ongoing construction project in the Claremont neighborhood, both with the Township of Lower Paxton and their contractor, Dolly Construction. What was supposed to be a short-term project in our minds has turned into a year-long ordeal filled with property damage, safety hazards, disrespect, and an utter lack of accountability. I have made every effort to resolve these issues through proper channels, but after being repeatedly ignored, dismissed, and even mocked, I had no choice to bring these public. My home has effectively become an unofficial headquarters for this project. Construction crews have parked heavy machinery outside of my home for months, blocking my driveway, preventing access on numerous occasions. Workers have taken lunch breaks in my driveway without permission. This constant and invasive presence has robbed my family, including my sister and my teenage daughter, of peace, privacy, and a sense of safety for almost a year now. It has been uncomfortable, disruptive, and at times intimidating. The project has gone well beyond its original timeline, with no transparency or communication about delays. Repeated attempts to get updates or explanations have been met with vague answers, indifference, and outright dismissal. The damage to my property is pretty extensive and ongoing. There's a power surge and electrical damage. In January, workers cut the power line to my house. This resulted in a surge that blew out my breaker box, damaged several of my appliances, and left me with no power to half of my house until currently. Nearly a year later, this has not been repaired, and I still live without outside lighting, posing a daily safety risk, as well as the inability to use my main living room, my entranceway, and 13 or more outlets throughout my downstairs. My mailbox destruction. My mailbox was destroyed, left unusable all winter. After months of complaints, it was fixed by jamming the post into the ground and bungee cording it together. It still doesn't close, and my mail continues to arrive soaked and ruined. Yard and access issues. My yard has turned into a mud pit for several months. I was forced to create my own temporary sidewalk out of bricks and cardboard just to access my home safely. Only after repeated complaints did they dump a small amount of gravel for me to walk over. My vehicle was damaged. One of their workers hit my car, causing roughly over $2,000 in damage. I obtained an estimate, but no one has offered reimbursement after saying they would do so. Blocked driveway and parking. On many occasions, I've had no access to my own driveway and had to park blocks away because construction vehicles and equipment filled the street. This has been countless weeks at a time. Neighborhood safety issues. There's been large, deep holes left and marked only with a single cone all around our neighborhood. No matter what street you take, you'd have to carefully maneuver around these dangerous conditions to avoid damage or injury. Tree removal and poor restoration. All of the trees on my property were removed without a clear plan for replacement. The grading performed afterward has led to basement flooding in my home during heavy rain. The grass seed used was of poor quality, left my yard full of weeds and uneven growth. Furthermore, there are multiple cracks throughout my entire front yard from the large holes that were repeatedly dug. Structural damage, poor workmanship has caused setting around my foundation, resulting in my front porch cracking and sinking several inches, which has also restricted poor access to my front door. Sidewalk installation was delayed unnecessarily. I had to plead repeatedly for them to finish it. In contrast, a cement pad was installed for my neighbor's camper, a clear example of favoritism and unequal treatment. My property remains riddled with safety issues that have led to falls and near accidents. These are not minor inconveniences. These are real hazards that have threatened my family's well-being every day, as well as the well-being of my community. When I voiced my concerns directly to the construction crews, I was met with sexist and dismissive comments. One worker told me I looked like I could use a drink. Another offered to make me a Tom Collins and told me to calm down, sweetie. This type of condescending behavior is unacceptable under any circumstances, particularly given the hardship that I've already endured. After months of documenting every issue with photos, videos, and written records, I reached out to the township for help without response. The only official response I received was a dismissive email back and forth from Dolly referring to my documented issues as so-called problems. This attitude perfectly encapsulates the lack of accountability for both the township and the contractor. I've been ignored, patronized, and disrespected at every turn, despite clear evidence of the damage and negligence. I've done everything in my power to resolve this privately and respectfully. I've been patient, cooperative, and transparent. In return, I've been left with property damage, unsafe living conditions, and a year of emotional and financial strain. This situation is not just about one homeowner. It sets a dangerous precedent that contractors and municipalities can act without consequence. I'm asking publicly and on record for someone in the township to finally take ownership of this disaster and provide accountability.
Thank you, Ms. Bradley. Can you tell us who you contacted at the township? It sounds like you talked to construction crews and Dolly.
I talked to, I have it on record. This is a really impromptu. I didn't know I was going to be here today.
Okay.
I have voicemails. I basically called every number that I had. I had talked to someone in a different division or department in the township, as I do work with the local youth, and they told me to reach out. So I have emails. I can follow up with email addresses, phone numbers. I will say, up until recently, I did have help from one of the supervisors here that came and visited the property just this weekend. So that's when I decided I would show up here. But it's not just my property. A lot of my neighbors, we can't exit our development. They shut out we have a small entrance, and they shut that down the other day. There was the township, I believe, and Dolly that were screaming at each other in the streets, and you couldn't get out. So we were basically stuck within our neighborhood again. It kind of feels like a mousetrap. We can't exit or enter our neighborhood since November. This has been going on.
Thank you. I have not received any correspondence about this issue. I'm not sure if the other supervisors have. Is there anyone else who has knowledge? Sorry. He's asking for your street address.
Oh, 5583 Banbridge Drive, Harrisburg, PA, 17112.
So yes, please, your correspondence, your prior correspondence with any township staff or officials would be wonderful to see. Supervisor Najim?
Yes, Whitney, thank you for taking the time on Saturday to meet with me, but, I drove around, I took some pictures. I am sorry that this is happening to you. It shouldn't happen to nobody, let alone in Lower Paxton. So I do have it on my notes. We're going to discuss it.
Okay, I do
hopefully
have
today.
a folder of photos that, not just from my property, but
Sure.
around the area.
And
I
is
can
that
send.
during construction as well?
They date back to the beginning when my trees were taken. I just took
Okay.
them because I was sad. And
These are copies, correct? They're not originals?
these are all originals that I have,
Okay, can you make copies
the
because,
dates.
and then, can you make copies and then I'll take them? Or I can take them
have
and
a
make
Google
copies?
link, a Google Drive I could
Okay.
share with you, and I can
Sure,
add others
just
that
send.
I have as well. There's probably a couple videos as well.
Okay.
There's just a couple OSHA violations that I've seen too, so I wanted to point that out.
Yeah, I apologize.
Our email addresses, all the supervisors' email addresses
Are
on the
on,
website. Would you please send us that link so we can look at that? And I will
Absolutely.
make it a point to stop by your house to see what's
Yeah.
going on.
yeah.
I'm sorry
and
for your troubles.
It's the entire neighborhood is just destroyed.
Thank you
So-
for bringing it to our
But
attention.
we'll take care of it.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Mr. Packer.
John Packer, 5723 Kenwood Ave. I'll just say I'm sorry that you're going through the same thing that we did in our development in Meadowbrook for 3 years. And as you well know, I've been before the Sewer Authority Board, along with Mr. Blaine, complaining about, I would verbatim, we made this same argument starting back May of 2024. As you know, that company just seems to be rinse and repeat. Wherever they go, there's issues. Whatever they're doing, there's issues. And there's a lack of supervision, both from them and from the township.
I agree.
Because the excuses we continually got was, you know, we can't make them do this, or we can't stop them from doing that. All we can do is take notes. That came from the inspectors, third-party inspectors that are at these locations. So I would say, you know, you really need to take a look at this company and not keep kicking the can down the road. And with the new solicitor, whatever contract that is, I'm sure it's very similar to the one that I got for our development. And there are ways for the township to take over or, you know, make them conform. And I don't know, do you have an update as to whether they got fined for their tardiness in not completing our project? Because that's where we were with ours. It just kept getting continually pushed down, and they were supposed to be fined. And it looks like this is headed in the same direction.
I think we did authorize them to pursue that. I don't have an update, and I don't know that it's fair to ask our solicitor for that, who was not here at the time, but we will look into it.
But again, yeah, that's something maybe for next to be on the agenda, to an update on that.
Thank you, Mr. Packer. Other public comment? Mr. Miller, please.
William Miller, 4311 Crestview. On that mailbox, if you want, I'll make sure you get a mailbox this weekend. They trust me.
Yeah.
I'll give you my number. We'll get it. Temporary mailboxes are simple. I mean, it should be real easy. That's a shame. I just wanted to mention, I'm back with the PennDOT thing here. I've seen nothing on Colonial Road. My source at PennDOT, they are supposed to put white delineators at the entrance of every street, and they're not there, so people can see when they're turning in the dark. They put no reflectors at Goose Valley and Colonial, or somebody, that lowboy, mowed down the guardrail. I'm not seeing the trees trimmed. I'm seeing nothing. And I did send some photos in. Nothing with the Rutherford Road over there by CD East. Nothing with the broken inlet by Londonderry and CD East, where anybody could put their leg in there and snap it off. I'm just disappointed in PennDOT. Broken grates. The one there, if you drive by, it's on 61st Street by McDevitt and Lighters Lane. You can see the undercarriage pieces of the air scoop type material of the cars. I put a line across it. It's about 7 inches deep. Totally unacceptable. But it's a state road, but it's right at the corner of Lighters Lane. I just think someone needs to fix it. So we'll go back. They were supposed to be in the highway department. They're going to have some kind of a database where you call in, you're assigned an event number, whatever, and then you can follow up. That's a lot of work, but at some point, when you call these in, there needs to be some kind of, that you can check the progress. You know, where is it going? Who's handling it? What was the disposition? And I think things such as that are a safety issue. It should go, certain people should have access. They're going to get the list. And then multiple people can see who's going to do it. But this list has to be made. Something as simple as a bent sign, something's missing. But Colonial Road, back to as a state road, I'm not going to give all the details. Our association, we've had so many close calls, accidents there on Colonial Road. The speeding is out of control. The sight lines are bad because PennDOT hasn't cleaned back their shrubberies. Is it the homeowner's problem? The PennDOT right-of-way goes right up those embankments. So I'm looking, PennDOT has the equipment, they have the time. I had a friend, Susquehanna Township, he's elderly, he had trouble cleaning, and they're billing him, but they came out and did it. It was done. So they have the equipment to reach out and pull that stuff out of there, and it was finished. So hopefully we can do something with PennDOT. As to the compost facility, I'd like to see those reports. I mentioned, the gentleman asked me, you know, Harrisburg, the dump, it's in a building, it's quiet, it's misted, but it's going to cost money. But in feeling for the people of the neighborhood, you know, I had mentioned, can we do something with a neighboring municipality such as West Hanover, there's lots of acreage, lots of space, and developing the relationship. You know, the only thing that's going to keep the people happy in the neighborhood is to get rid of it. But there can be an engineered solution with buildings, sprinklers, a massive berm. You have to have the sidewalk to get down to the new park. It's going to be at the end of the road. That waivers were given and people didn't put sidewalks in, and now you got big swales and you can see the sidewalks just end. Why would they end? If those waivers wouldn't have been given, even with deferrals, at least they'd have graded it correctly, and our new park would be connected for all the people of the development, and the new walkway could cut in through, you know, the new the existing compost facility. They have thumpers instead of loud beepers on trucks, and you can control those. You have a tremendous right-of-way as you enter into the facility, and those gates wouldn't have to open until 7:30 or 8 o'clock. I mean, a lot of this could be controlled and mitigated, but is that really what the people of the development want? I think this is a bigger problem where everyone's going to have to sit down and come up with a good solution. But the yard waste isn't going to go away, and with continued development, more and more and more yard waste. One solution is don't take anybody else's yard waste. With Mr. Kessler, I drove down that Raspberry Lane. I've lived in this township. I'm old. I moved here in 1954 as a little boy. We went down that alley, through that whole town. That was always open, and at the end, down by the firehouse where they hold the barbecues on the other side of that little creek back there, that was the sawmill. We got our sawdust there. We did the gardens. We did this. That street was always open. No one's fooling you by saying it's their street and I bought it and I pay taxes. It's been a common alley since I've existed, and I just think people are trying to usurp some of that land for their own personal use and resources, and it should be open. I think I mentioned just about everything here. Again, I do feel bad for all the noise out there at the compost facility, but the stuff's got to go somewhere, and we've got to come up with a solution to do it somewhere. And again, we need to combine. I'm just summarizing. Combine that. You've got committees in the township, one of which I won't say which one I work with because you're not supposed to. You get yelled at. But we have discussed this, and you have qualified people in these committees with lots of experience who should perhaps be in with this. We have a police officer that comes to our committee periodically. We have one of our building codes people. I mean, you have a lot of resources, and if we could look at this, and some of the committees are supposed to look at these plans, a lot of these things could be avoided. You know, I'm very serious about safety. I'm serious about these sidewalks and curbs. Serious about people getting where they're going, but people also have to have what I consider a good quality of life. And from the sewers and these other things, you guys have a lot on your plate. And a lot of constituents right now are looking for the right people to make the right choices in all this. So, but I'll work on the mailbox. I'll give you my information here then, and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
Thank you.
Do you have anything on PennDOT? President Jim? We can follow up with PennDOT.
Yes, no updates from PennDOT, Mr. Miller, but I doubt they're going to do anything with the budget not passing, so. Anything from PennDOT work-wise. But yet I still have not heard anything.
Guardrail hanging in the air. Guard posts aren't anchored in the berm.
Is that was that one of the pictures you sent me?
Yes, there's 2 locations where it's undermined. I'll prepare I don't need to do email. I'm broke. I'm not technological. I can do a slideshow. That I can do, and I should expose what's going on. Colonial Road is abandoned.
Yeah, it's
for all intents and purposes from what I've seen. And what I see, I see things differently than the average person. I drive by, oh my God.
Yes.
Punch lists on whole schools. I mean, this is easy stuff.
I mean, I did put a quick list together, but if you do slideshows with pictures and
Yeah.
annotate them, man, you're gonna be the.
It's quite revealing, and some I called in 8-10 years ago, 2 supervisors of PennDOT ago on Colonial Road. I'll look into it.
Thank you,
Look
Mr.
at it.
Miller.
Yes, ma'am.
We appreciate it. Is there other public comment? Okay. Thank you all. Let's move on to chair and board members' comments. Any comments from the board?
I have a comment. I would like to do 2 things tonight. I have a constituent in the in the audience who I would like to give public recognition and heartfelt thanks to, who I consider a local neighborhood hero, Mr. Robert Bennett. Could you just stand a moment, Mr. Bennett? Thank you so much. Sorry, Mr. Robert Bennett of the Devon Manor community. Through his eagle eyes and friendly relationship with his neighbors, he prevented one of our residents from being scammed out of a significant amount of money. Thank you, Mr. Bennett.
Thank you.
One of the
Let's
things
give him-
One of the things that I have noticed as I've been going around recently talking to various constituents is that there are a number of scams going on in our local community. I've heard about a scam in the Hodges Heights community. I've heard about the scam in the Devon Manor community. I've heard about a different scam in a community near the Northside Elementary School. So I've talked to the police chief about these various scams, and I want him to have remarks. Mr. Bennett, I would like to have an opportunity to take a photo with you. I see that Ms. Thompson is here, so I'm hoping that she'll be able to do that. I wanted to do this now because when we originally talked about this, his wife was supposed to come with him tonight, but because she is injured, she's at home watching, and I want him to be able to get back home to his wife. I'm sorry, gentlemen. So that's why I'm sort of doing it typically out of order. If we could just get a photo with Mr. Bennett and the board, I would appreciate that so that he could get back to Linda. All right, we'll come back. Thank you. Chief Kashiba is going to have some comments on the scam issue.
Thank you. So just researching recently, this is not, and I can speak from my terms in law enforcement, this is not something that I wish I could say is infrequent, but is very frequent, to the point of over $3 billion in 2023, according to the FBI, across the board with the various types of scams. We would always remind everyone to, if there's anything whatsoever, whether it's the elderly clean down to the new homeowner, if there's anything that concerns you, that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up, by all means pause. Tell them come another day. Make sure they have a solicitor's permit, by the way. We can cite them for that if they don't. But you know, there's just a whole host of crimes out there. A lot of them are targeting the elderly, grandparent scams, home improvement scams, driveway scams, sweepstakes and lottery. The grandparent one's pretty gut-wrenching as they pull at the heartstrings of these older folks that have family members, and they pull information out of them, try and make it look like that they're saving a grandchild from X, Y, or Z. So those scams are long and drawn out, and there's just so many different ways that occurs. Again, very first step is to contact your local police department. We'll respond accordingly. If they're actually out in your neighborhoods and they do not have a peddler's permit, that's the first indication that we have not vetted them. So contact us immediately after you tell them to get off the property. And just a note for everyone, the International Fraud Awareness Week is coming up in November. It's the 16th through the 22nd. So if you just do a quick Google search, you can get on there and get some information about the various scams out there. And again, I'll say for the last time, call us if there's any reason for concern. And thank you, sir, for the great work you did.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any other board member comment?
Yeah, I'll just say quickly that in addition to the request that was sent to PennDOT about the roundabout and the repairs, we did ask them to also evaluate the intersection off-ramp exit 7281 southbound off-ramp, making a left onto North Mountain Road, because there's been a large number of accidents that it's not safe. So I don't know if they can do something temporary with time of day restrictions, but it's something on their radar as well. So
Thank you. Moving on to the manager's report. Mr. Vernell?
Thank you, Supervisor. First thing I would like to do tonight is, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce, and I'm sure she didn't know there would be that many people in the room, our new finance director, Karen DeLong. Karen, would you stand up so everybody can? Karen's been with us a few weeks already, but the timing of the public meetings didn't really lend themselves to an earlier introduction. But we're glad to have Karen here, and she's doing a heck of a job getting caught up, drinking from the fire hose right now. But I thank you, Karen. A couple of other things, just since this is the season for renewals of different policies and agreements that we have. Did want to bring the board up to date on our workers' comp. And the workers' comp carrier decreased our experience modification factor from 0.917 to 0.740. What this means is the experience mod it's an adjustment. It's a multiplier that gets applied towards the premium. So the smaller the experience mod, the less we pay. So that dropped from 0.9 down to 0.74, which is good for the township. I couldn't tell you how much that saves us because I don't know what our total premiums is right now. The other renewal was with our life and death and disability, which we received a notification from our current carrier, the Hartford, that there was going to be about a 12% increase in our premiums. So Mr. Grove and Dr. Gaines went out and did some work to get additional quotes from other companies, and we were pleased to receive a quote from Lincoln Financial, which is going to save the township about $12,000 a year. So instead of increasing $6,000 in premiums, we're going to save $12,000. So kudos to them for the work they did in finding this new company, this new carrier. That's all I have tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Vernell. All right. Since it's 8 o'clock, this is the magic hour everybody's been waiting for. We'll move on to old business and item 7A, which is the ceremonial administration of loyalty oath to the Bureau of our Fire Career Personnel. Thank you all for your patience.
All right, good evening, everyone. Our guests, our new firefighters, thank you for your patience here tonight. I'm just going to be brief in my comments. I know Deputy Chief Graham has some detailed comments to follow. I just want to say that for everyone in the room, including the 8 of you that are here tonight, this all started back in late 2021. It's been that long we've been moving in this direction into 2022 with our fire study that was conducted and just moving through that with the hiring of Deputy Chief Graham. So this has been a long time coming. Our citizens are going to benefit tremendously from the presence of all of you in our fire stations. I wish you the best. This is a great opportunity for each and every one of you to create a solid foundation with our volunteers moving forward, and I'm glad to have you here. Chief Graham.
Good evening, board, members of the community, and our family members. For those who may not know me, my name is Brett Graham, and I have the privilege of serving as the Deputy Fire Chief for Lower Paxton Township Bureau of Fire. It's an honor to stand here before you this evening as we welcome the next generation of firefighters who will help shape the future of our department and continue our mission of protecting the community with dedication, respect, integrity, vision, and excellence. Tonight represents more than just the swearing in of our new firefighters. It marks a historical milestone for our community. These individuals represent the official transformation of the Lower Paxton Township Fire Department from a 100% volunteer model to a combination system. This system has been carefully designed to be inclusive of all of our members, both career and volunteer, united under a single mission, vision, and set of values. Together, our career and volunteer firefighters will work hand in hand to build upon the proud traditions of service that have defined this township for generations. By supplementing and strengthening one another, we are ensuring a sustainable, united, and mission-ready fire service capable of meeting the growing needs of our community for years to come. To our new team members, you have my full commitment that you will be supported, valued, and given the tools and resources necessary to succeed. We are building something special here in Lower Paxton Township, and that success begins with taking care of our people. Not only those that wear the uniform, but the families who stand beside them. You will always have my respect, my trust, and my promise that we will lead with purpose and accountability. So it's my honor to introduce each of you to the community we serve and to officially welcome you to the Lower Paxton Township Bureau of Fire family. Our first new hire is Connor Davis. Connor Davis grew up in New Jersey, where his passion for the fire service began at an early age. Following in his father's footsteps, he joined as a junior firefighter at 17 and began responding to calls alongside him. In 2020, Connor moved to Pennsylvania to pursue a career in the Harrisburg Bureau of Fire, where he served for 5 years. During that time, he also lived in Lower Paxton Township and volunteered with the Paxtonia Fire Company before accepting his new role with the Lower Paxton Township Bureau of Fire. Outside of work, Connor enjoys hiking, sightseeing, traveling, and spending time outdoors. Joining Connor this evening are his father, his father's girlfriend, his mother, and his girlfriend. Second up is Sean Moore. Sean Moore's passion for the fire service began at a young age, spending time with his father at the firehouse. He officially started his journey as a junior firefighter in Newmanstown at the age of 15. After high school, Sean enrolled at Hack to study fire science and joined the Paxtonia Fire Company as a live-in member while attending school. During his time at Paxtonia, he worked as an EMT, completed numerous fire service courses, and advanced through the officer ranks. His dedication and drive led him to a career position with the Fort Indiantown Gap Fire Department, where he spent 3 years gaining valuable experience and learning from a great team in a unique fire service environment. Now joining the Lower Paxton Township Bureau of Fire, Sean is excited to be part of something great for the community and looks forward to helping shape the department's future. Outside of the fire service, Sean enjoys spending time with his wife and son, camping, traveling, and watching sports. Joining Sean this evening are his wife Brittany, his son Jameson, and his parents Fran and Bill Moore. Up next is David Garber. David resides in Oberlin, Swedera Township, with his wife Ashley and their 2 daughters, Cameron and Kinsley. When he's not busy running the girls to cheerleading and softball, Dave enjoys spending his free time hunting, fishing, and being outdoors. A dog lover at heart, he also enjoys spending time with his family's German Shepherd, Nash. David is excited to join the Lower Paxton Township Bureau of Fire and looks forward to serving the community and assisting residents in their time of need. Joining David this evening are his wife Ashley and his daughters Cameron and Kinsley and other family members. Up next is Zachary Hallbleib. Zach began his fire service journey following in the footsteps of his family who inspired his interest in the fire service from an early age. He started as a junior firefighter in Hummelstown and later joined the Paxtonia Fire Company to continue developing his skills and experience. After several years of training and service, Zachary accepted a career firefighter position with the City of Lebanon, where he spent 3 years gaining valuable experience before joining Lower Paxton Township. He looks forward to the opportunities ahead and to continue his career serving the Lower Paxton Township community. Outside of the fire service, Zachary spends time with his family, going to the gym, watching baseball and football, and traveling. Joining Zachary this evening to share this special moment are his wife Hunter, his son Archie, and other family and friends. Next up is Justin Poole. Justin began his fire service journey at the age of 14 as a volunteer firefighter, inspired by a deep interest in serving his community. In 2020, he transitioned his passion into a professional career in the fire service. Born and raised in Wrightsville, Pennsylvania, Justin is married to his wife Kayla, and together they have a daughter Miley, who will turn 2 this December. When he's not on duty, Justin enjoys fishing on the Susquehanna River and spending time with friends and family. Joining Justin this evening is his wife Kayla and his daughter Miley. Next up is Dakota Schultz. Dakota began his fire service journey at the age of 16 years of age as a volunteer in Swedera Township. Following in the footsteps of a long line of family members dedicated to both volunteer and career sides of the fire service, what started as community service quickly grew into a full-time career fueled by passion and pride for the job. Outside of the firehouse, Dakota enjoys watching sports and spending time with his family. Recently engaged to his fiancée, Krista, he jokes that he had to double-check how to spell that word because she would give him a hard time if he didn't use the fancy word fiancé. Joining Dakota tonight are his father, Craig Schultz, along with several close friends and family members. Up next is Cody Stifler. Cody joins the Lower Paxton Township Bureau of Fire, bringing with him a decade of experience as a career firefighter, serving communities in York and in Maryland. Cody resides in Glen Rock, Pennsylvania with his girlfriend Caitlin, his daughter Andy, and Caitlin's son Levi. Outside of the firehouse, Cody enjoys spending time with his family, attending the kids' sporting events, and making memories together at the beach. Joining Cody today are his parents John and Terry, his girlfriend Caitlin, his daughter Andy, and his stepson Levi. And last but not least, Alex Phillips. Alex grew up in Middletown, Pennsylvania, and brings over 11 years of fire service experience, not including his early time as a junior firefighter. His career has taken him from volunteering at Middletown Volunteer Fire Department to serving professionally with the Horry County Fire Rescue, gaining valuable experience along the way. Outside of the fire service, Alex enjoys hunting, fishing, and golfing. He is proud to continue his career with the Lower Paxton Township Bureau of Fire and looks forward to serving the community alongside his new team. Joining Alex this evening are his mother, Lynn, father, Daniel, grandparents, Donna and Wilbert, sisters, Gracie Phillips, and close friend, Ryan James. So in closing, these firefighters represent the next chapter in our Bureau's story, one built on teamwork, professionalism, and dedication to the community we serve. We're proud to welcome them as part of our Lower Paxton Township family and deeply grateful for their families and loved ones whose support makes this possible. Please join me again in congratulating our newest career firefighters as they take their oath and officially begin their service to the residents of Lower Paxton Township.
All right, I will stand as well. All right, firefighters, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do hereby declare that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. As a member of the Lower Paxton Township Bureau of Fire, my fundamental duty is to serve the people I have sworn to protect, to safeguard and preserve life, health, and property, against fire and other perils, and to maintain a high level of proficiency in the fire service. I recognize as a badge of my office as a symbol of public faith and trust. And I accept it so long as I remain true to the ethics and principles of the fire service. And principles of the fire service. Very good. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. So help me God. Congratulations. Yes.
Pictures as a group and then individual families come up before one time.
My pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could just have your attention for a minute. I don't know if you all noticed, but all of these guys started fighting fires when they were teenagers. And I think that's as impressive as all get out. I also want to say a couple of things about families. When the fire whistle goes off and these guys are fighting fires, the families are at home fighting the feelings of worrying about their loved ones. The families also serve, so thank you too as well. Thank the families. Thank you for being here.
No, it's my specialty. Okay. Thank you for sticking around and sorry to take that break, but I think everybody can recognize how important recognizing our firefighters is. And I do just want to reiterate, it's such an honor to swear them in. I feel like I don't deserve it. Our prior board has taken so much time and effort to bring this to fruition, and I'm just so honored to be a small part of it. So thank you to our prior board, our current board, Director Kashiba, Deputy Fire Chief Graham, for seeing this through. Okay. Moving on to 7.2, which is an action to approve a proposed settlement stipulation for Exeter 6455 Allentown Boulevard. Mr. Hall.
Thank you, Madam Chair. From time to time, property owners will file tax appeals to challenge the amount of assessment to their property. The school district usually takes the lead on these. That was what happened in this case. So you have before you been provided a copy of the proposed stipulation for 6455 Allentown Boulevard. It appears, I did a little bit of looking earlier, it appears to be a logistics facility. The actual net change to the township is pretty minimal.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. Are there any questions for Mr. Hall? Okay, may I have a motion to approve the proposed settlement stipulation for Exeter 6455 Allentown Boulevard?
So moved.
Is there a second? Any public discussion or comment? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 7C, or 7.3 on this agenda, it's an action to approve a proposal from Appalachia Technologies, LLC for enhanced IT security.
There you are.
Mr. Lopez. Thank you, Ricky, for sticking around.
Evening, everyone, ladies and gentlemen of the board. My name is Ricardo Lopez, IT Manager for Lower Paxton Township. Tonight I want to share a revised proposal based on the original proposal that was shared during our security meeting on September 9th of 2025. After our last meeting, I worked with Appalachia Technologies to review the services. After I met with Appalachia, they provide additional discounts on the original proposal. The proposal in front of you, there's no changes to the actual services, just discounts to the services themselves. I'm here to address any questions that you may have. I know we discussed this in a prior meeting. I'm here to answer any questions you might have on it.
Can you go up one page? I just have one question.
Sure.
The ticket priority as critical, that's a ticket put in by us, or is that like a threat that has been detected?
It could be me personally getting a hold of the company. If I'm not here, whether it's vacation, sick, whatever the case may be, staff also have the ability to reach out to Appalachia Technologies and submit a ticket, and they can classify it as a priority. If it's something like a server's down, first responder is down. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I was thinking it's a detection of a bad actor, and then like we would have to let them know, like, hey, can you investigate this?
So based off this proposal includes that service. So what that means is,
Yes,
if they,
I think it was a misunderstanding on my end.
Okay.
So I apologize.
no, it's okay. Yeah, so if something is detected, they're going to automatically get the alert to remediate, and then
So
if
it's not gonna-
remediation is needed, then rates would apply.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I got it mixed up with, like, we have to call them, like, hey, look into
No.
this. Yes.
No.
Okay.
Are there any other questions for Ricky?
Yep,
Mr.
apologies.
Lopez, I understand that this week we had a very serious incursion that, thanks to your dedication and commitment and being on top of things, we were able to avoid. 2 months?
Which incident? I'm sorry.
There's so many.
The CI incident. One of the detectives. And,
Oh, yes. Yeah, he was working on something, and he was provided a link to further his investigation, and it looked funny to him. He discussed it with me, and actually sharing that with our security team, they said, under no circumstances click on that link, because it was malicious.
Well, I guess I wanted to give you kudos for that, and just to be sure, on your nights and weekends and vacations, you're still not working, right?
Trying not to.
Okay, we'll accept it. No, I want to give you, doing a great job, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. And we do appreciate it. Your proposal is very comprehensive. If it's not already, it probably should be a requirement of insurance carriers going forward that we have some of these items in place. And I do believe that the cost of a breach would be much higher.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it's very
And
prudent.
to add to that, when you add security services, when renewal comes up for a cybersecurity liability insurance, we can get discounts on the rate that we're currently paying for. So I'm sure by instituting these changes, we could see a drop in our insurance, for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Okay, if there's no other questions, can I have a motion to approve a proposal from Appalachia Technologies LLC for enhanced IT security?
So moved.
Is there a second?
A second.
Is there any public comment? Questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Okay. Moving on to item 7.4, which is the discussion of the appointment of a chief administrative officer to oversee the pension plans. Mr. Vernell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The pension plans for the township have a chief administrative officer whose job it is to approve and authorize contributions, changes, amendments, things like that. When our former finance director resigned, there was no provision made to change CAOs at that time, so Mr. Miller was still listed as our chief administrative officer. I currently am as an interim, but the board's going to have to pick somebody new since I'm not going to be here very long. So that's the thing. I'm asking you to discuss the appointment of a chief administrative officer to oversee our pension plans.
Thank you, Mr. Vernell. Do we have any suggestions from supervisors this time?
I thought that as the prior pension administrator was our finance director, that it just made sense to have our current finance director step into that position. It just seems logical. There are a number of other, Chief Kashiba, you said there are a number of other people sitting on that committee?
That's correct, ma'am.
Okay, so they can bring her up to speed as to what they've done to date, and then just move forward.
Okay. Any other comments?
Not at this time.
I agree with Supervisor Thompson, and seeing that we don't currently have a manager in place, we should proceed with identifying the finance director as the CAO. Okay, we are not taking any action on that item. I think it'll be on a subsequent agenda. So we will move on to 8, which is new business, and item 8.1, which is an action to approve a cooperation and sub-grant agreement between the township and Bishop McDevitt High School. Mr. Vernell.
Yes, Bishop McDevitt High School approached us several weeks ago and asked us to be a co-sponsor, or an applicant, I should say, for a RACP grant, which is, I don't remember the name of that. It's Redevelopment Assistance Capital Program is what RACP stands for. Under this program, the municipality is the applicant, and we have an agreement. So there's 2 actions on the agenda tonight. One of them is to approve an agreement with Bishop McDevitt for them to pay all basically the expenses. We will receive the grant money, and then once they have expended the money, we turn it over to them. The second item is a resolution approving this relationship with them. The project itself is called the Bishop McDevitt Winter Sports Venue, which will add practice wrestling space, a new fitness facility, study lounge for the students, and gathering space, again, for the benefit of the students' educational experience.
Thank you, Mr. Verneau. And I will note that I think the project is currently estimated to be around $8.5 million. They're seeking a grant for approximately $4 million. The reason that Bishop McDevitt has approached us is because they are not eligible as a grantee under the RACP guidelines. So it would require a local government or an authority to serve as that grantee in that capacity. So at this time, I would ask for a motion to approve the cooperation and sub-grant agreement between the township and Bishop McDevitt High School.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, is there any public discussion or questions on this item? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to 8.2, which is the action to adopt Resolution 2511, authorizing the submission of the RACP grant application to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Mr. Verneau, is there anything else you'd like to add on this item?
No, just that this is the enacting legislation that permits the township to go forward with all this.
Wonderful, thank you. May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 2511?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any public discussion, comment on this item? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Moving on to 8.3, which is an action to approve Lincoln Financial as the township's life and AT&D carrier effective December 1st, 2025. Mr. Verneau, I think you already covered this, but is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, not at this time. I just, again, will echo what I said earlier, that staff did a nice job going out and getting these quotes. So they got a total of, I don't know if that makes a difference, but they got a total of 7 companies to quote, 4 declined. So it was pretty competitive process.
Yeah, and I will note that that text is very small, that for Lincoln Financial, it's at $44,192 as an annual cost, and that was the lowest bid. Okay. May I have a motion to approve Lincoln Financial as the township's life and AD&D carrier effective December 1st, 2025?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any public comment or discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9.1, which is the improvement guarantees. Supervisor Thompson?
Excuse me, we had 4 improvement guarantees, to be approved at this meeting. Maiden Creek, which is completed, so that's closed out. Autumn Oaks, Phase 3, over on Patton Road, which is also completed. 5601 Locust Lane, they're just changing their, the location of where the money is held. It's the project is almost completed, so it's down, I believe, below $5,000. So it's going to shift from a bank to within the township and be held in an escrow account with the Lower Paxton Township Finance Department. And then 6471 Hunters Run Road. They're just requesting an establishment of a improvement guarantee for the building of a detached garage. So that's a very small item. So I would like to make a motion to authorize the improvement guarantees.
Thank you, Supervisor Thompson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Is there any public comment, discussion, questions on the improvement guarantees? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 10, which is the payment of bills for Lower Paxton Township and Lower Paxton Township Authority. Supervisor Thompson.
With regard to the bill, we didn't get to discuss item number 7 on your agenda, Mr. Vernell. Do we want to discuss that now, or should I just go ahead and
I'm sorry, what item is that?
Department of Labor fine?
Oh, no, we didn't get to that on the executive session yet. So
Just wait until we go back in session?
I would prefer that.
Okay, all right. So having reviewed all 3 of the check registers, I'd like to make a motion to approve the payment of the township bills.
We have a motion. Is there a second to approve the payment of bills?
Second.
Is there any public discussion, questions on the bills? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, are there any announcements? Any announcements from the board? Okay.
This next budget workshop meeting, it's Tuesday.
So our next board meeting, the budget workshop, is Tuesday, October 14th at 5:30, and I believe that's fire, correct? Yep.
Yeah.
And then our next board meeting is Tuesday, October 14th at 7 p.m. Okay, with that, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
As a non-township event, next Wednesday, Linglestown Area Civic Association is having an event where all the candidates for supervisor will be there. You can hear each one of them speak, and I encourage everyone to show up to that event. 15th, I think it is. Is that correct, Mr. Minsker? The 15th?
Yes. 7 o'clock.
Okay. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Okay, meeting adjourned, 8:41 p.m.